Hello, dance friends. Thanks for tuning in. We're in about week 7 of this really new time that we're in. Tonight, I'm talking to 3 dance teachers or studio owners from around the country who will share what the life is like right now as we continue to operate our schools, continue to try to keep dance in kids' lives. But before we go into our talk, I want to say this. You know that dance is our gift and a gift that we have passed on to thousands of kids. No matter what your circumstance is, whether you have to cut back on teaching, change everything about what you do, the gift of dance is never going to leave you, and it's never going to leave the kids whose lives that you have impacted for all of these years. Hang tight. We're going to make it to the other side of this, and we're all still going to have dance. How cool is that? Welcome, ladies.
Hello.
Hello.
Great to have you. We have Brittany, Ginny, and Mary with us today. Mary, I'll start with you. Tell everybody about your school, how long you've been at this, and where you're from.
Okay. Hi, I'm Mary Mele. I own Independent Dance Studio in Gainesville, Florida. We're in like just northeast Florida. And I've had my school for 11 years now. This is our 11th season.
Welcome. Ginny, tell everybody a little about you, my friend.
Well, I am Ginny Durow, and I am in Brighton, Michigan, and I have had my dance studio for 30 years. I am now an empty nester, so I'm going through this stay-at-home order with just my husband and I. My boys both live in Chicago, so so I would be working on my 30th recital right now. So now I'm at home cleaning, and my husband's painting everything in the house. He's on our last room right now.
You'll appreciate that part when this is over, Ginny.
Yeah.
Brittany, tell everybody about yourself, my friend.
Yes, hi. My name is Brittany Milan. I'm the owner of Elevate Performing Arts Center, which is in Bloomington, Minnesota, and this is our 8th season. And I'm currently at home with my newborn and 3-year-old son, and my husband, who usually is all over the place, but because of this is at home with me. So
tell everybody how newborn your newborn is, if you would.
6 weeks ago, so he's 6 weeks tomorrow.
And Ricky Milan, I don't say your last name right. Say it for everybody.
It's Milan, but
Milan.
Milan is great too.
Okay, so Ricky Milan is your husband, which some of our viewers know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. So Mary and Ginny and Brittany, I want to start off with this. I'm going to dedicate tonight's show to this dance teacher, studio owner. Her name is Bambi Donahue. And she wrote this morning on one of my posts that she's loving these broadcasts, but she's wondering if when you guys are so positive, and hang on, I want to read it exactly as she said it. I'm feeling a bit defeated, tons of tears. Your nightly meetings help tremendously. I wish the positivity of your guests would stay with me when those meetings have ended. I have to wonder if they too at times feel like they're falling into an abyss and that I am not alone in this desperation. Can we start off talking about that? Mary, what would you say to Bambi? Have you had any moments like she's describing?
Yes, I mean, even before all of this, I think as a small business owner and especially a dance studio owner, I think it's a roller coaster of emotions day to day anyway. Now throw in creating a whole new business model in a matter of days, like most of us have done. I've had so many breakdowns, too many to count. And I think she poses a really good point that, you know, we need to be as transparent as possible with what we're dealing with. It isn't all rainbows and sunshine and platinum unicorn trophies. You know, it's hard. It's really, really hard. And I think it's really important too that we're transparent with those feelings, and those feelings are okay with our students as well, you know, checking in on how they're feeling and things like that, because as resilient as these kids have been and as proud of I am of them, I just can't imagine, you know, your social life, your school life, now your after school activities, your passions are all happening in one place at home. Everything you once knew has changed. And so I think all of us, I can say just having to adapt and to this new normal for now is definitely the cause for many breakdowns.
And is it true that when you have to do what you have to do as far as the studio goes, you put on the face that you have to put on, but then how do you feel when the class is over, Mary?
Sad. I mean, I'm happy when it's happening because, you know, it's what we have right now to work with. We don't really have the choice. If we want to keep our businesses afloat and we want to keep offering what we're offering to the kids, and keep some kind of normalcy and consistency to them. But, you know, even the 3 and 4 year olds that are hanging on at my studio, you know, we sit down at the end of class and I just say, hey, if you want to tell anything to Miss Mary before we go, you know, show me anything, or, you know, I'm going to unmute you. And it's always, I miss you. I love you. When am I going to see you again? And now it's getting to the point where they're giving me facts about Corona because I think their parents have started talking to them about it. But yeah, I get sad because it's happy in the moment and then you hit end and that's it until next time on the screen, you know?
Thank you, Mary. So, Ginny, I know you as one of the most upbeat people I know, all right? And you are going to talk positive about everything because that's what's in your character. Do you ever have some down moments through this, my friend?
I had one breakdown where I just, for 2 days, was just a mess. And it was the technology of everything that was beating me down. I feel like I have been in front of my computer 24/7 because I've had to learn all this stuff and how to do this and how to get things working on these Zoom classes. And so 2 weeks ago, things did not, I had 2 Zoom rooms going at the same time and we were cutting each other out. And I finally said, that's it. I will message my kids that are trying to get into my class and tell them I'll see you later because we can't do 2 at once. And I couldn't figure it out. And thank God for my idea friends. I put a SOS out there like, I need help right now. And I got it. And Krista from Ohio's like, I'll call you. And she did. And she set me up and I've paid it forward and I've helped another Kristen from Florida or from Ohio. Like, this is how you do this. So that's what, to me, that's why we're here, and we're here to help each other. But I'm also relying on my staff a lot. Like, I watch all the classes, and so they make my day. These little kids, I have so much fun watching them and watching what my staff are doing with them. And I'll take pictures and then I'll post it to our group meet with the teachers. Go, oh my God, this little boy, this little brother needs to be in class because he was jamming through this whole, and it's all, or like there was a dad dancing in one of the classes. And so we're trying to really share with each other what we're seeing and what we're enjoying. And, and then in the downtime, when it's time for me to walk away, I have to close my laptop and go, okay, I walk out of, my office changes every day. Cause right now my office is the room being painted, but I walk out of whatever room I'm in and I try to leave all my work there. And I sit down with my husband and go, okay, so what are we going to do? What are we going to talk about? And one night he was playing with the cats. He was upstairs and he actually went down the stairs, slid down the stairs for fun, like you do when you're a little kid on your belly. And this is so much fun. You got to do it. So I'm like, okay. So I went upstairs and I slid down, we just, and we laugh and, we're just, doing what we can do. I paddled around my lake in April. I've never done that in my whole life. My board usually doesn't make it in the water until after recital in June. So, it's been, you know, I've been
So
doing
you're
it.
looking for the positive. You're trying to
Yes.
do things
Yes.
that make you smile.
Yes. I try not to go, oh my gosh, there's, you know, where's so-and-so and where's so-and-so in this class? You know, I'm like, but by God, these kids, these, you know, 3 little ones that are with us today are loving this, and what we're doing for them is worth it. And I've reached
Excellent.
out to, you know, I've reached out to kids that aren't there, and some of them are like, well, I can't get her to focus. I'm like, you know what? If you could just get her to get in front of the TV screen or in the monitor once and see us, that might be all it takes. You know, we're not going to feel bad if they lay on the floor or spin in circles the whole time, you know.
Understood.
I just think it's important that they get there and see us.
I'm with you 100%. Brittany, roller coaster, obviously.
Yes. Yes, it's been a roller coaster.
Say something to Bambi for me.
Yeah, okay. I think my roller coaster has been, you know, due to this change, but also, you know, I had the baby, and then I had postpartum, or I currently have postpartum depression, so then that added to all this. And then, you know, I think it helps. So I live with Ricky Milan. He's my husband, and he's like a 24/7 motivational speaker that I'm very thankful to have in my life. So I think that finding that person for you, whether, you know, they're an idea member or whether they're a staff member. I mean, my staff has been really positive too, and our weekly meetings have been great. And for me, Ricky is my like 24/7 cheerleader. So that has been super helpful. And he has times too, you know, this has been hard for both of us because he's very much so a people person, and he feeds off of people's energies. And when we're not around them, it's hard. So we have to help each other through this. So yeah, I think for me, my advice through my emotional roller coaster is finding your cheerleader, finding your motivational speaker that you need to go to if you're having a tough day, and calling that person or messaging that person. It's been really helpful.
Awesome. Thanks, all 3 of you. Bambi, we're with you. Mary, you're doing your classes online, yes?
Yes.
What program or programs have worked best for you?
So I swear by the band app. That is just my, you know, that's my cheerleader. The band app I've used it even before all of this has happened. So it was a really easy transition for my staff, because that's how we communicate. And then my competitive kids are all on band. And so what we did is we just created one for the entire studio and kind of made that our database, our foundation, like our launch pad for everything. So in the band app, every day there's events, and those events are classes, and you click on the event, and then once the event pops up, it's information about the class and the Zoom link. And then everything goes out to Zoom classes. So I have 3 Zoom rooms that we're working on Monday through Friday. And there is the capability to do lives in band, and we keep those for like special pop-up things, or like our baby and me classes, or silly dance parties, or whatever. So yeah, band is our launch pad, like I said, and then Zoom 50+ classes a week right now.
Wow. I want to come back and ask some more questions about that in a minute. Ginny, what are you using to do class?
I'm doing the same thing. I have 2 Zoom rooms running at a time, Monday through Friday on Zoom. And then I have made a band app for every class. And once the Zoom class is over, that goes on the band app to all those classes that it would be going to. So if you're taking a kinder class, and I have 3 different teachers that teach kinder, your kinder app, band app, will have the class from every teacher. So there's so many options for them to do on the band app, and putting color, like Brittany or Mary said, it's there. I mean, you can quick add a coloring page to the age groups. That's all kinds of stuff. That is an awesome app. And so the band app's my favorite. And then we do have a Facebook group too. And so that's where and that's only for currently enrolled students, the private Facebook page. or group, I should say. And so I post a lot of things there. I'm not sending out a lot of emails or anything right now. I find that every time people want answers, but there is no, like, you don't know, like you can't plan that far ahead, you know? And if I say, well, this is what I'd like to do, then I get an email saying, you can't make that decision. I'm like, but I didn't make that decision. Did you read the email? Like, so I feel I get frustrated with people. So I feel it's better just to, this is what we're doing, right? Today, this week, this is what we're doing on Zoom. This go here for the band app. And I just keep emailing classes. Hey, just posted a new thing on band and I see you're not on it yet. Can you, you know? And so
I got it.
Yeah, I get frustrated with giving them too much information because I feel like they want to know this is for sure what you're doing, and you can't say that. And if I say, this is my plan, this is what I'd like to do if we can, if we're allowed, you can't make that decision. Well, I didn't. You know what I mean?
I got it.
Yeah.
Brittany, what are you doing for your classes?
So I started off by doing a Facebook group. We called it our virtual Elevate page. That was like 7 weeks ago. I started with that. And then after that week, I was like, we need to do more live classes because that's what the kids were liking. So then we went, and now we are using that as kind of our home base, and then posting our schedule and Zoom links there for our classes. And we have, each class has a different album there. But yeah, we're using Zoom for our classes. We have 3 rooms that happen Monday through Thursday and Saturdays. And yeah, we're using Zoom pretty much for everything, for communicating with my teachers as well as families.
So go ahead, Ginny.
You said you have, on your Facebook group, you have an album for each class?
Yes. So what I did is I set up under albums, under the videos, I set up an album for each class. So that way when want to post videos, or if they want to, you know, you can have, we put homework assignments in there. And so then they can just go directly to that album.
Great idea. Because people have said on Facebook they get frustrated because they can't find what's appropriate for their kid.
Right.
Right. And Ginny, I use albums in band. Albums, and I do the same thing, but in the band app.
Okay.
Look at this. This is exactly what
it's the technology that makes me go, ah! So
this is the point I want to make. We're all smiling, but you know that, I don't know, I think this is show 12 or 13 that I've done like this. Not one person has said the same thing. Okay, or what's working for them may not be working for Brittany. Right. I think we'll narrow in as time goes on. I've actually been hearing a lot about the band app, but that's not an endorsement in any way. I just lately have been hearing so many people talk about the band app, and I think that we all sort of have to figure out the recipe that our clientele is going to take or want, and then keep adding what we know. I want to say something about the album thing. The same thing was happening on the Idea member page. Everything was everywhere, and last week our tech guy said, you can put those in albums. So that's for everybody there who has a group whose videos are getting out of control. Okay, next question. Parents' response, or I'll say clientele response to your transition. Do you feel that the last week or two you're getting a little bit less enthusiasm than the beginning? Is that a nod yes from all 3 of you or 2 of you? Mary, since you're not totally sure, start us off.
I think it's been pretty consistent as far as the feeling goes towards what we're doing. We started right away. And so I think the people that wanted to hang on and wanted that outlet are the ones that I still have. So I feel like it almost, I know I saw in another one of the talks that it's interesting that it's kind of weeded out certain people that just might not be on the same page as you, and you might not be the right studio for them. So, wink, wink. But yeah, I mean, it's been about the same. I think time is working against us, essentially. You know, as we get closer to summer, I had quite a few hanging on because of recital, but as of this week, I've postponed it till the end of August. And so, yeah, I mean, I think that's why I was like, it's kind of the same, kind of not. It depends how you look at it.
The recital thing, that was hard for everybody. Ginny, how are you feeling in the last couple of weeks? Same amount of enthusiasm or a little bit less?
I think it's a little bit less. Although this week we did see some kids show up on Zoom that we hadn't seen yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I feel like I need to do another big push with, hey, this is where we're at, and post some more pictures that, because I like to take pictures. Like one class had everybody get your pet, and we had all these pets. And so I took a picture. And, and then I post those and people think, I'm like, come join us on Zoom. And so I feel like I need to do another boost that, hey, we're here. Because I think people, you forget, you lose track of time. It's like every day you wake up and you go, what day is it? What day of the month is it? You lose track. And so I think you forget, oh yeah, dance class was yesterday and we forgot all about it. And
Yeah.
I don't know if they need more reminders or.
Well, listen, I was going to say that, Ginny. On one of our talks, one of the first ones, this woman who, she has a studio, I believe, in New Jersey. She sent group texts to everybody 15 minutes before and said, put on your leotard, get ready.
Okay.
And I thought that was brilliant if you have the time or the capacity to do that, because those that do forget.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a pretty good idea, consider it.
With our programs that we use now, I mean, Dance Studio Pro, I could send a text.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget tonight's class at 7:00, and then now we're 15 minutes before class. All right, Brittany, what's it like last couple weeks?
Yeah, so last, I feel like it changed last Thursday. Last Thursday, our governor told everyone that the schools will no longer, we're not going to go back for May, which I think everyone knew, but hearing it was another thing. And so that was like Thursday at 2:00. The kids came to class, and it was just a very sad class for everyone, all night. And some of the teachers were like, what's going on? And some of the kids knew. It was really interesting because some of the kids didn't know yet and found out through the friends on Zoom. And, you can see their reactions were like, okay, this is really not happening. We don't get to go back to school. So that started everything, I think, this last week. And now it's just been a little harder for kids to be as excited. That's how I'm feeling, to be as excited about Zoom. So this week I was like, I got to do something different. So I got this idea from another idea member, and my Monday class, I put them in breakout groups, and we worked on a piece together, and we choreographed together, and they loved that. And it was really beautiful when then we recorded it and we shared it with the families, which I love. So I'm trying to use the technology as best as I can to make it interesting for them, so that it's not just the same thing, because they're hitting a wall, I think. And so right now my goal is to give them as many different types of pop-up classes, like you guys were saying, like dance parties. And we're doing our own version of a town hall meeting weekly, because I thought that's fun. And we are, last week's town hall meeting was about careers in dance, because these are things that we haven't had time to talk about in class because we're too busy teaching. So I'm like using this opportunity to give them this information, and parents and kids have been really excited about it and thankful for it. So we started doing that, and we're talking about doing a watch party via Netflix. I haven't figured it out completely yet, but doing like a watch party and watching a dance film. We're trying to do as much as we can with the social aspect of Zoom. And
I got it. You know that what you're doing really is having to think out of the box, right? And we're all creative because we've applied it to our choreography, what we teach. I feel like we have to be creative in a new way. What you just said about dancers working together to choreograph together and then presenting that piece, that's where we have to go.
Mm-hmm.
If we're trying to hang on to 6 days of technique classes or working on choreography, I'm not sure that is it.
Right.
It's now stepping out of our boundaries. Not to say that the other won't work, but I do believe as time goes on, we have to be more and more creative and more about support emotionally as well as dance. Because if they're hitting the wall now,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to say anything more. Okay, so let's go for something positive. Brittany, you shared some things you were doing that were unique. Ginny, what are some of your pop-up concepts or some things that you're doing differently other than class?
That I'm doing differently other than class. Well, we had a contest where they had to do they had to dress up as superheroes. And like one family dressed up as supermarket heroes, and they used the bags from different stores, and they had to have a picnic outside, or they had to make a fort inside, and it had to be the whole family. And so the mom, dad, and the kids, everybody got involved. And so right now my staff is getting ready to judge those pictures, and we'll post those. And then we mailed everybody something. We actually had all the teachers wrote a little note to every student that they had. My secretary did this, and she compiled everything, but she, it's not like she's doing what she normally does, right? So this gave her something to do. And she had little bunnies cut out, and she did word searches and puzzles and all kinds of different things depending on the level. And we had a lot of good feedback with that. And we're getting ready to send another round of little care packages out too. And stickers, clean out all those odd stickers you have at the studio and that kind of stuff.
Excellent. So, what about you, Mary? Some unique things?
I've been doing so many pop-up classes. I think I was like, desperate's not the right word, but just trying to put as many different things in the schedule to add value. But I do a weekly bedtime story. We're doing virtual spa nights. Last week we made a foot scrub and showed our feet, and because dancers have rough feet, we did an 80s family dance party. We're doing, a positive thing that I have loved about this is being able to hire staff that have either like moved away or people I've met in the competition convention circuit, or, we have Megs from So You Think You Can Dance tomorrow night popping in to teach a class. Scott Fowler taught last week. And so being able to like use those resources for pop-ups have really made the families happy. And the other really cool one was we did like a choreography challenge. Week one, the first week it was a choreography challenge. You had to come up, you had 30 seconds, any song you want. You're in charge of everything. And so many people got into it. And then we said, surprise, there's a catch. Now that you've done your choreography and submitted it, you have to teach it to a parent and resubmit the choreography. So, I mean, we had kids doing like acro and all this kind of stuff. So we're about to put out all of the results from that too. So just as much as possible is what we're doing.
I got it. It's interesting. I've seen dance teachers who are puppeteers, storytellers, motivational speakers, sitting out on their lawn, having a heart-to-heart with their kids. There's some parts of this that we're going to miss, you guys, as hard as this is. The connection that we've been able to make with those who can stay with us is going to be a bond that lasts a long time. And wherever we go with our show and all that we still are unsure about, when we finally do pull it off, everybody involved will feel triumphant. The kid, the mother, you, your faculty. I think it's going to change us in a positive way, though that's hard to see in the 7th week, is the best way to put it. Any comment on that? So,
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think it definitely already has changed a lot, you know, for the better. And just seeing like through the idea network and pages like that, seeing everyone's ideas and being able to share them. And like you said, to see how many different things people are doing and like, oh, wow, I didn't know princess tea parties. Like, heck yeah, we're having a princess tea party, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sorry. I also think that like today, this conversation is making me feel better. Just, it's reminding me of how much we have done and how much, you know, new information that I'm always trying to like get out there, and new ideas that are coming to us still, which is cool. And I forget about how cool that is. So it's a good reminder. And I think, yeah, this is helping a lot. So
and
thank you.
think we're going to use this technology in the future. Like, we'll keep using the band app. I will have a band app now for every class going forward, you know.
Yeah, we're gonna continue, and think of this. I don't want to jump into this subject too deeply, but whatever we're using to, whether it's Zoom or Band or whatever you've chosen, even when we get back into the studio, I believe it will be a part of what we do, because not every child will be able to dance because they may have immune issues, or they may have an immune compromised person in their home. I think we're into this virtual thing for a while.
I love what it's done, like on the staff side, like the operational side. I now have this catalog and this library of all of these recordings of classes. And now if I have that new teacher come in and they're expected to teach the baby class, I'm going to make sure that they watch 5 of my classes that I taught virtually so that they know what to expect in the class. And, you know, we've always talked about having, you know, using Jackrabbit to having the curriculum up there and things like that, but just never had time to go about it and to start it. It's a big feat to accomplish, but we're doing it. Like, that's what we're doing right now.
You are so right. You're not the first person I heard say that. But yes, even in our own gatherings, how many times have we said, we need to write that down and create a syllabus? We need to work with the teachers on exactly what we want in our classrooms. Here we are. And here's another thing that I think we aren't aware of, is that in a lot of my seminars, I say to people, you know, video footage online is really what you need because it gets the most attention. And people say, I don't have anything on video. It's great because
we do.
You got preschoolers on video. You got kids dancing in their living room on video. And you got what you need to market your business down the road without even knowing that that's what's happening.
I'll tell you too, for me, because I have me and one other teacher that run the Zoom classes. So we log in and start them. And I have been so impressed with my staff. And I told them all, when this is over, you're all going to get a raise, because I'm just impressed with their teaching skills. Because I've never sat in their rooms and watched an entire class, hear bits and pieces, but I try not to just go in and sit. That's intimidating, right? But now I get to see them all, and it's like, that's a really good lesson. They're doing a really great job. So that's been good for me to see my staff, and you know, I'm really proud of them. I think they've really stepped up to the plate and done a good job with it.
I have to add to that, because I couldn't agree more. I was having one of those down days where I was so sick of technology and just looking at my phone or my screen. I just felt like I had such a headache from it. And I just happened to pop into our Princess Tea Party, which is put on by our advanced ballet teacher, out of all people. She just like, I was like, who wants to do a tea party? Raise your hand. And she took it. She's like, oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited. She came on with her Princess Tea Party. Everyone had to wear a hat. She advertised it as there's a special guest coming. And she had the Mad Hatter pop out of this like pop out of the room, come in full character the entire time. It was her husband, full head to toe, Mad Hatter. Her daughter hops across the screen as the White Rabbit. They're all drinking tea. She has flowers with the little wiggly eyes put in there. She has the cat up on the, I mean, everything was like to a T. And I just lost it. I was like, she doesn't have to do this. She doesn't have to go all out and be so detailed. And she's my ballet instructor. And here, who knew that she had, acting chops or directing chops for directing this whole thing. So I couldn't agree more. I feel like it's bringing out a lot of like the best in people for sure.
And listen, when she did that and her husband did that with her and her child did that with her, they will always remember that as well. Okay. So she's creating memories in her own life and for all your families. It's who we are. We're giving people. That's what dance is all about, sharing and giving the passion. All right, so funniest moment on a Zoom class, Mary.
It's easy. First day, first class. It was like a ballet 1 class, 6 to 7-year-old little girls, about 10 or 12 came, so we were so happy. Big brother, that's probably 10, 11, 12, running around in his whitey-tighties, knocking over his
That's
sister.
tidy whiteys.
Tidy whiteys, whitey-tighties. I'm in Florida, it must be different here, but yeah, just knocking her down to the ground, just like pummeling her. She's screaming, she's running in, he's running to the screen, and like things are in the screen, and we're like, oh my God, what are we? This was before we figured out how to use waiting rooms, I called the mom. The mom was like, are you kidding me? All of a sudden you see the mom run down and chase the son out of the screen. And the whole time we're just like, this is it. This is what we're going to be doing for the next however long. Oh my God. So that's the funniest moment.
It happened right away. How about you, Ginny?
I was going to say, I've read this story. I have had nothing fun and exciting like that happen. Yeah, for us, I think the cutest thing is just the kids that, we had one of the teachers, she said, okay, I want y'all to go find something that starts with the letter B somewhere in your house. On the count of 3, I want you to run and go get it and bring it back. And they all scatter like bugs. They're gone. And one little girl comes back and she's just standing there. And she goes, I couldn't find anything. Like, it was just like, that's okay. Like, but everyone else has got all kinds of things that start with letter B, but I couldn't find anything.
And that's okay.
Yeah, or the little kid that the teacher's doing it and she's just spinning, and I'm like, yeah, that's probably how she is in class too. It's just, they're fun to watch, but we haven't had anything like crazy like that. So
how about you, Brittany?
I haven't had anything like that either, but I will say a fun moment is, so on Tuesday nights, I have a 15-minute break between they're twinklers, we call them twinklers, they're 5 and 6-year-old tap class, and then my next class. And this little girl, Juliet, every week just sits there with me for my 15-minute break and talks to me and just tells me about her life and what her parents do. And what are you doing, Miss Brittany? I'm like, well, I'm preparing for my class. And she's really cute. She makes me smile. And I think that's like one of the best parts of my day. So I look forward to it. And so it's not so much funny, but it's a really cute moment.
It's special moments.
Yeah.
And maybe that's how I should have asked the question.
Yeah.
Any final words of wisdom for our dance studio owner listeners? Mary.
Okay. I keep using the word transparent with my staff and flexible. Just be flexible, just both mentally and physically, I think, and just being transparent that you're kind of in the same predicament as everyone. And, although we didn't sign up for this, we're trying hard to make it something worth value.
Awesome. Ginny, final words of wisdom, my friend.
I think for me, for one of the things that I think helps keep me upbeat about the whole thing is I actually, because I am, I'm the host for the classes for one room, and tonight we're switching rooms, so I'll get to see those kids, is I start the class and the teachers come into the class in the waiting room just like the kids, and I let them in. So sometimes I get there and I'll have 4, 5, 6 kids before the teacher gets there, and it's fun for me just to talk to them. I think that's really what is so important, is that, you know, talking to the kids and seeing them. So, you know, for me, even though some of them, you know, you have to kind of guess, and I will pull up on my other screen who, you know, what that parent's last name is, because sometimes I sign in as the parent, so you don't always know the kid's name. So I will search quick and, you know, make sure I get their names right. So it's helping me get to know all the kids at the studio, because I don't teach every class.
Right.
So that's kind of been what's kind of kept me, I think, motivated, is just the little chit chat for these couple minutes with each class every day.
Good point. Brittany, final words of wisdom. Mama.
I think remembering, and this meeting has helped me remind myself of all the things that we've done so far, and how cool all of it is that we did this on like for me, it was like 24 hours and I'm alive, you know? So
Yes.
like to remember how quickly we put this together, and also like all the things we've created so far, reminding ourselves that we can create more, that there's still more room for new ideas. And I'm saying that because that's what I need, a reminder for myself that we've done so much and there's so many more new ideas that I can come up with. And it makes me excited now. I'm excited.
I'm happy you're excited. I have to say, I'm a little bit excited about what the future holds myself. I look at it as what opportunities are out there that didn't exist prior to this. What you have to accept, though, is that we're all going to have to accept change. Change.
Mm-hmm.
In a new world, new opportunities to grab and go for, but it may not be the same. But let's be open to that. That's what life is all about, right?
Yep.
Thank you, guys. Let's do a high five to all dance teachers out there. Thank you guys for being with us. Thank you all for tuning in. And you want to do the heart?
That's what we do at the end of all our dance classes.
I'm with you. I don't do a good job at it because I have big funky hands, but there you go. That's for everybody out there. We will be back with you on Friday night. We're going to have a clinical psychologist with us who's going to talk about some of the emotions we talked about today, but also some of the emotions that the kids are having too. That should be really needed talk, and one that we can all learn something from. And Saturday night, talk with Gio Hubella, just hanging out, mild talk, doing some laughing, and that's what we have in store this week. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you again, ladies from all over the country. We appreciate you and your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.